And I do want to congratulate you, commend you, and welcome you to this episode of the curriculum. As Chris Pilgrim mentioned just a few minutes ago, we are into chapters 7, 8, and 9. That is gratitude, thinking in a certain way, and the use of the will in Wallace Wattles' great classic, The Science of Getting Rich. And this is material that we study in the curriculum. Book 1, as you know, is The Science of Getting Rich. There's a thinking stuff from which all things are made. And then there is Book 2, which is Think and Grow Rich, Thoughts Are Things by Napoleon Hill. And then we get into the 7 natural laws that apply to all of creation in the book called The Kabbalion by 3 initiates. And the outstanding material that we covered tonight is sort of a key on how to make the creative process, the creative thought process work, how to tap in to infinite intelligence in a way that we're coming in harmony. And this statement really just says it all, is that gratitude brings you into harmony with that infinite intelligence. What could be better? You start thinking about, well, the beginning of the credo in The Science of Getting Rich is, yes, there is a thinking stuff from which all things are made. And a thought in this substance produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. And I, as a thinking center, can form thoughts in my mind, and I can impress my thoughts. By impressing my thoughts upon formless substance can cause a thing I think about to be created. So the question becomes, well, how then do I impress my thoughts upon this phenomenal, infinite, living, thinking substance from which all things are made? So impressing our thoughts becomes paramount, becomes primarily important, and it's summed up very, very strategically and simply. And this image sort of, that jubilant expression of gratitude and thanksgiving, so coming into harmony with this thinking stuff is critically important. There's nothing more that more important that we've got to start learning. And this is the scientific method of thought, right? And so because it is scientific and systematic and methodical, there is a way, the way of getting it right, and the specific way to bring yourself into this unity, this harmony with thinking stuff, with infinite intelligence, is summed up in the one word, gratitude. And okay, so let's say that you're thirsty. Well, if you're thirsty, wouldn't it be better to be at the source of a spring to get the freshest, coldest, most pure, most abundant source of that spring water? The closer you are to the source, the better off you are. Well, what is the source of everything? The source is that infinite thinking stuff. Well, that's another word for God. So being thankful on a regular, consistent, constant basis to that is the way we come in contact, the way we come in harmony. Now, let's break this down into 3 steps. The first is you've got to believe and accept that there is one intelligent substance from which all things are made. Think of it sort of as a matrix. And then step 2 is, not to be hokey or corny, but remember to throw back to the image of Aladdin and his lamp, and rubbing on that lamp, and poof, out pops the genie, and he's going to grant you your wish, whatever it may be. And so when you believe that this substance gives you everything you desire, you have completed step 2. And it's full faith, full belief, unquestioning acceptance of the fact that this intelligent substance is moving towards us as fast as we want things in our life. This intelligent, abundant substance wants to generate and produce And then the simple third step is relating to that thinking stuff with a feeling, an emotion of deep and profound and moving gratitude, right? So if you combine those three things, acceptance, belief, and gratitude, that's all you need. And then it's just like, I've got a shower that drips a little bit of water. The valve doesn't quite close, so it's always dripping. But then there's if you open that valve a little bit, the water comes out more fully. And then there's the image of a garden hose where the tap is even larger. Well, if you want to receive the greatest amount of abundance, get the largest valve and open that valve as fully as you can. It's the image of the fire hose gushing water. And sometimes in our business, we're accused of trying to quench people's thirst with a fire hose of information. But here, it's apropos. It's what we want to do. We want that valve wide open, gushing as much gratitude towards infinite intelligence, original source, original thinking stuff, as powerfully, as profoundly, and as consistently as humanly possible. The more gratefully we fix our minds on the Supreme, whenever anything good comes our way, the more thankful we are, then that just triggers a reception of more good things coming to us, and the more rapidly they will come. So there's a habit, and so much of this comes down to habit, forming those critical habits. And the attitude of gratitude is what puts the mind in a closer touch with Source. And another benefit of having this ongoing attitude of gratitude is it develops faith naturally. You develop belief by having gratitude towards Source. What all of a sudden begins to manifest and happen in your life is you develop belief and faith and the trust, and that, some of the greatest biblical parables are all about faith and belief and receiving because you have the faith. So this gratitude attitude is what keeps all of us in harmony with this creative thought, and it also prevents us from sliding back towards the competitive mind, the competitive thought process. And going into competitive thought is dropping an iron or a concrete wall, preventing the flow of abundance towards us. So the greater the gratitude towards the Supreme, the more comes back to us. And why is that? It's a law of reciprocation. See, there's actually a law of gratitude. And just like this image being equal and opposite, it's the exact same thing with the law of cause and effect, the law of reciprocation, because every time an action is taken, then a reaction is always generated of equal and opposite direction. So when you thank the Supreme Intelligence, the ultimate infinite intelligence, with a feeling of that abiding gratitude, just instantly, lovingly, with no holds, nothing held back, then what takes place instantly, and this is an instant reaction, is a liberation of force back towards you. See, and it can't fail because it's a natural law. So it takes place just like that. Now, chapter 8 is thinking in not a certain way, the certain way. So what is that one way of thinking? If you had a crystal ball and you gazed into that crystal ball because you wanted to know what your future was like, the more definite the image that you can see in that crystal ball, the better, right? If you just have a fuzzy image of what you might hope for, you're not getting a very clear picture of what you want. So the certain way of thinking is with total clarity in every aspect. And remember that we are these triune beings living, we're spiritual beings with intellect having a physical experience. So we have to think, what do we want to be, do, and have physically, intellectually, and spiritually, and develop a crystal clear image of that. And it's got to be a burning desire. And it's just like if you're standing on a foggy, misty corner and you think, well, I know there's a mansion down at the end of the street, but the mist is obscuring it. You can't see the picture. You can't get the image of the mansion in your mind, and it's obscured. And it's the same way with our thought process. If we are transmitting a misty, vague image into this thinking stuff, then nothing transpires, nothing is solidified. So everybody's got this vague, I want more. I have more money coming from me from all kinds of sources. Oh, that's really definite. So you get very specific. How much money? Where's it coming from? How's it being generated? What does it look like? What is the life that it enables you to lead? What's the benefit to you? How do you take that abundance and put it into physical manifestation? So you never get the creative power into action with unformed desires and vague concept of what you want. It's got to be crystal clear. When you sail, every sailor will tell you, you never leave port without a fixed destination in mind. You never just go out to haphazardly sail around the bay or sail around the ocean. Brothers and sisters, you know where you're going. Your vision is clear, just like the mariner at the helm. The helmsman knows where he's going every moment, never loses sight of the port he's sailing towards. So you continually maintain this clear mental picture of what you want to be, do, and have. And look, if you can't maintain that picture naturally and spontaneously, then form a picture that does move and motivate you. Your image isn't big enough. It's not exciting enough. You see, if you've got a big enough image, a strong enough desire, you're not going to have to force yourself to remember it. It's sort of like, when you're falling in love, you can't keep that person out of your mind. It's just like, whoa, it dominates my thought. And it's the same thing with a big desire. It's so exciting, so compelling that you don't have to force yourself. It becomes a burning desire naturally. So that's the only way. Look, it's a natural state to be mentally lazy. We love ease. And the only way to really get into all-out massive activity is with a burning desire. And so the way you achieve success is with the power of faith. And these dreams that we all have and desires, they're not enough, right? So you've got to have a very clear mental image. You've got to be profoundly grateful, and you've got to have an absolute, unwavering belief and faith that the thing that you desire is already in your possession. You've got to be able to convince your subconscious mind that it's already either in your possession or right now on its way into your hands. So think about if you want a house or a car, you're dreaming about a lifestyle, then what you do with faith and purpose is you see it in your imagination as if it's already in your possession. And this is what differentiates the dreamer from the scientific thinker, is the ability to not only see it, believe it, have gratitude for it, but understand that it's already in your possession. It must transpire by natural law. So you see and feel and get the emotion, of yourself in possession of the things that you desire and the way that you want to live. And then the final chapter that we're dealing with today is the proper use of the will. Willpower is one of the mental faculties like memory, recall, imagination. Willpower is what enables us to harness it's what puts the bridle, it puts the bit in the mouth of the horse, and our willpower gives us the ability to control our minds, right? And what we have to do is learn how to use our minds to, first of all, form the image, the very clear, crystal clear image of what we want to be, do, and have. And then you use the will to hold that vision. Don't let it waver. Don't let it flicker. Don't jump. Don't let your monkey mind jump from branch to branch to branch to branch. No, discipline the mind with the use of the will and have vision and faith and purpose, and you use the will to think in the certain way, maintaining that image, that burning desire, that gratitude. This is the development of a muscle. It doesn't happen overnight. And what happens when you do slip and slide? It's like, whoa, I'm stopping the forward progress, because what happens is our thoughts determine what we receive, and it's our will that determines what we think about. So if we do not develop the will, the power of the will, then what happens is we're allowing doubt and unbelief and uncertainty to slip in. We start thinking on the basis of appearance as opposed to truth, which is what we want. And every time that we have doubt or fear or uncertainty, it's like blocking the forward progress. You completely arrest all forward momentum, all of the movement of infinite intelligence, original source in the production of things to and for and towards you. So inspire others with creation. And when you become wealthy by the creative method, what you're doing is you're opening a floodgate for others to follow, and thousands and thousands. This is why we pay it forward with our method, with our creative method, and with the passive residual income generators. Brothers and sisters, act now. Charles Krauthammer was my age, brilliant man, no longer among us. And no one knows how much sand they've got left in the hourglass. So the lesson for today is I must form a clear mental picture of all the things that I want, and I must hold this picture in my thoughts with the fixed purpose to get what I want, with the unwavering faith that I will get what I want, and I close my mind to all that may tend to shake my purpose, dim my vision, or quench my faith. So for next week, get into the next 3 chapters of The Science of Getting Rich, chapter 10, 11, and 12, further use of the will, acting in the certain way, an efficient action, think in a certain way, read, study, contemplate, take action, repeat your affirmation with emotion, subscribe, make sure you're confirmed to the wealthcreationmastermind.com site, get on all of our webcasts, and act in a certain way. We're on the physical realm, accept it, create multiple streams of passive income. Join us on Tuesday night. Open the floodgate. Don't block the abundance. I want to commend you and congratulate you. You are the Wealth Creation Mastermind. This concludes the curriculum exercise number 3. We are going to replace poverty mentality with abundance mentality through the creative method of thought.